They want you to spend your own money. They want you to risk your life and your wherewithal and get some money in, right? And then they might give you $5 million. Right. So what we see a lot of is some of these B2C products are coming and they got to go B2B, B2B2C. And what that does is it takes some of that innovation out of the picture, because you're still plugging into the legacy. You're still doing that. So anyway, if we looked at what we built, it was, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were,
one second. Basically, we built that ability to put those buyers and those sellers and those influencers together, but by vetting them with the ability to say, listen, they've got customers, they've got revenue, they've got this, they've got that. They don't have this, and enabling them to wear the things that they don't have as pride, not shame.
Exactly. And so Will and I have, one of the things that we are really trying to do with the work that we've done, including and also with this podcast, is how do we, in the RetireTech world, create an orchestrated ecosystem? How do we published our map about 6-7 months ago. It has 60 companies on it. Our next version in a few months will have probably 50% more than that. And how did they start to work with those legacy firms, to your point, and then also collaborate and integrate with one another? So we're doing what we can to try to bring those worlds together. But you made so many great points in your last comments. But one I want to tease out a little bit. These enterprise firms, these legacy firms, look, they have a lot at risk. There's a lot at stake for them. We know that. But so how can they develop a greater risk appetite as they look at these RetireTechs? Because I would say that their inaction is probably the greatest risk, right? Then they're failing to adapt to tomorrow's market. So for those folks in our industry that are senior executives at these legacy firms, what advice would you give them? How would you talk to them in terms of how they go out and evaluate these companies and if or they should bring them in?
I speak to it from a couple points. One is speed. Okay. The speed by which they take them through the process. I have one of the cohorts did a big an incredible partnership, right? And that ability to keep it moving, that ability to see it. But instead of sitting there, spending all your time figuring out how it's going to support your businesses. And I want to be careful not to call out anybody, because we all know they are. I don't want to call anybody out because it's not a negative on any of them. But the problem is they spend too much time figuring out what their product teams are missing instead of communicating with their customers.